appellate courts really need to be closer to fair and balanced, not to use a Fox News term, but there needs to be a little bit more balance on the court, because right now it's pretty much just a full Republican panel, which means that it's pro-business is the model that they follow.
And pro-business, the Business Council, they're the ones that paid for all the advertisements. They put up the super PAC money. They're the ones that bought and paid for the Supreme Court we had today. One thing that would help that, it wouldn't eliminate it, and it's nonpartisan judicial elections, which I have advocated since I first started running for office in 1980.
We agree with that.
Yes, but you know,
Well,
politics.
talk about bought and paid now. You had told us, I mean, you've been offered money to not continue this race or to take your name out. Is that correct?
Yes, I've been, you know, the code words that were used. You know, code words.
The code words, yeah.
Yeah, you know, code words. You know, it's, you know, like we talk about winking a nod or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, these are pretty strong code words, but you know, they're open to interpretation. But make no mistake about it.
And you turned them down, obviously.
Yeah, I turned them down.
Can you at least tell us how many commas were in the amount of money?
I tell you what.
Did it make it to 2 commas?
Let me tell you something. It was more than 6 figures.
Wow. And so you're sitting here tonight and you could be anywhere?
I could be in Jamaica.
You could be in Jamaica. Don't make Tommy and me that offer. I think we'd know what we would do.
That means it had 2 commas in it.
Yeah, that's a 2 comma.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm not for sale.
Well, that's obvious if you were offered that kind of money and stepped away from it.
That's very admirable, Harry. I mean, the $250 limit that you self-imposed, it's admirable from the position of you've limited yourself to that amount of money, which limits the amount of favoritism that you'd feel like or may appear that you should give somebody.
And in 1988, I don't mind telling you, in 1988, my good friends at the firm of Pittman Hooks, Dutton Hollis, offered me $25,000 campaign contribution, and I turned it down.
I don't know how you master a statewide campaign by limiting your funds. That's very difficult.
I almost won in '88, came real close to winning, and but for massive contributions that went to my opponent in the millions, I barely didn't make it. I think I got like 48% of the vote, something like that, and I didn't spend the $6,000 out of my own pocket.
Okay, now you live in Shelby County.
Yes.
So is it rumor or truth that you had some beef with Judge Patty Smith?
When you say some beef?
What was it? Talk about a restraining order?
No, I don't know. I do not recall any type of restraining order. I do not recall that. I mean, if I have no order in my records. No.
Now you did mention that.
We had differences. I'll put it to you that way. Okay, let's just leave it at that. She's retired now.
Yes, she's retired.
She's retired. Okay, she's got grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
She's got children. If I were to talk about what I know about certain people, they would have not only no respect from their own family, they would have no self-respect.
Maverick knows a lot of skeletons, I hear.
I know where the cemetery is at. I don't have to go looking for the skeletons. They're already there.
Yeah. Well, you've been around a while.
I have been around, much to the dismay of several people.
So you predict that Romney will win you predicted he would win the presidential nomination.
Yes.
And that's going to hurt Roy Moore.
Absolutely.
Help me on that one.
Well, there's no Mormons in Alabama, maybe 2,000. Okay.
Now, what's interesting, and tell me if this is true, that your father was an Orthodox Jew and your mother was a Southern Baptist.
That's correct.
Now, talk about a mix.
I've been both bar mitzvahed and baptized.
Well, that's what I saw, that you were bar mitzvahed at 13 and baptized in college?
Yes. And twice. Once in college, and the second time was in a Catholic church when my friend Vincent Ntosia, his son, newly born son, Vincent P. Ntosia III, who recently graduated at Auburn, he wanted me to be the godfather. So when I went in there, the priest asked me about my religious background, and I had told him, and he said, well, I'm going to need to baptize you before I can make you this young baby's godfather.
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah. So, twice, but I think once is enough, but still.
So do you have a photographic memory?
I've been
Is
told
that rumor? Or?
I don't know. I've been told that I don't forget much of anything.
I started to say, you've done a great job of recalling facts from 82 forward, so.
Right. Yeah.
All right, let's see, what else? And I know you've talked to us off camera about some of your comments getting taken out of context.
Oh, yeah.
And one
That's
of them,
gonna
of course,
happen
I
to
mean,
anybody.
oh, trust me, we've been all over this immigration law for a while. Oh, we
Yeah.
have a caller?
We do.
All right, hang on, Harry. You're going to be, what do I hit? I forget. Just
Hit the
this.
speaker button, and I hit the button. There you go.
You're live on Legal Speak.
Hello. Who was it that on the Democratic Party that tried to pay Mr. Lyon not to run?
All right, hang on, and we're going to answer that question to the cameras. If you want to answer, we
Let
have
me
a
say
caller.
this. I never said it was anybody from the Democratic Party. Play your tape back, okay?
Right.
But that was a nice insinuation from somebody that probably votes Republican to try to make the Democrat Party look bad. That's called manipulation and propaganda. Okay, I'm well aware of how that works because I wrote for 3 different newspapers in my career, political columns. So I did not say who it was, and you just stop and think of stop and just think about what type of agenda would a political party have to accept big money interest to support Republican candidates for judgeships. What is their purpose? Are those people that put out those checks because they believe in Jesus? Are they helping the poor? No, those are people that are writing checks, giving it to people that will be judges and will reduce what a jury awards as damages to somebody that says a paraplegic after a car wreck. We'll reduce that. I'm sure they can get by on $10,000 for the rest of their life. We'll reduce this $3 million verdict so they can get care that they need in their wheelchair. Okay, because what do they care? They just got a job. And this is a fact throughout not only Alabama, but everywhere. There's the majority of people that run for judgeships are doing it because they want the job. They cannot make as much money. They have not made as much money in the private sector. So what a better deal when Alabama pays the highest judicial salaries in the nation.
We do, really?
Yeah. And
Now, you said you were going to contribute. No, wait.
Yeah.
Is that rumor or?
No, that's true. I intend to contribute half of my $160,000 after taxes, okay? Half of my $160,000 salary to the State Bar Association. They have got an organization that, like the Volunteer Lawyers Association, to help them fund legal access. And the way I would set it up is attorneys would have to take a lot less than they normally get for a divorce, for a bankruptcy, for any other type of civil litigation, and so the fund would be have some strength and legs to it, and I intend to do that because I don't need $160,000 a year salary. I'm 60 years old.
That's very admirable, Harry. And we've got to go to a break. That's a good place for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll let you talk more about that and anything else we need to talk about before we get to the end of the show.
Here at the Charter International Dateline facility, scientists have 1 foot in today and 1 foot literally in tomorrow to bring Charter customers the latest thing. Oh, it's Casual Friday over here. Like switching your phone service from AT&T, Verizon, or CenturyLink, Charter guarantees to cut your phone bill in half. Speaking of cutting things in half, where's the rest of those pants?
Do you need furniture? Sides Furniture in Dora has incredible deals for you. Does your furniture make people say, wow? Sides Furniture has the North Shore Collection, specially priced just for you. This group has a rich traditional design and exquisite details that come together to create the ultimate in grand style. And all upholstery features luxurious top quality leather. Select your new furniture today and save big by purchasing at Sides Furniture in Dora. 110% guaranteed low price, or visit them online at sidesfurniture.com.
Hi, I'm I'm Tommy.
And I'm Kendall.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch on Channel 80 ACN for the Southern Gospel Show.
Each and every Sunday right here on Alabama Cable Network from 7:30 to 8:30 for the very best in Southern gospel music.
We'll be looking for you.
Ever in his whole career, ever evaluated.
Welcome back to Legal Speak. There's a lot going on. We can't
It
even
is
quit talking at the break.
nonstop.
So, all right, at the break we got on the subject of, at some point in time, Harry, people called to question your competency. Is
Yes,
that right?
not competency. They called to question my sanity.
Sanity, that's even
Sanity.
stronger than
Is he
competency.
sane or is he
Is he
not?
sane? Right.
That's
So
right.
I was
that you
asked.
may be crazy.
I was not ordered. I was asked by Robbie Lusk with the Alabama State Bar.
And for our viewers, what that means is the Alabama State Bar has an Office of General Counsel.
Yes, they
Robbie
do.
Lusk is one of the
He's the
attorneys.
deputy. He's the deputy.
That works
Under
for
Tony
Paul-
McClain.
Under Tony McClain.
That's right.
And obviously, Maverick pissed him off somewhere along the way or did something, so he wanted
Well,
to
I
see
wrote
if you
for
were
three
sane.
different newspapers, and people that I opposed politically, that I literally wrote them out of office. I didn't ride them on a horse like my opponent has, okay, to the polls.
That's true.
Okay, so I wrote them with a pen, the power of the pen. I wrote them out of office, and then I had to kind of try to find a real job. So, okay, So anyway, they were very angry. So a whole bunch of people started writing letters to the bar,
Complaining about you.
Yeah, complaining about me. Okay, so.
Those are aggravating.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
So anyway, so I get a letter from the State Bar, Robbie Lusk. Would you volunteer, at your own expense,
Of course.
to take a full neuropsychological evaluation? Now, these are the kind of evaluations that are given by a psychiatrist.
What kind of articles were those?
I know. What were you alleging these people were doing?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what some
Were
of
they
them were about.
spaceships involved? I mean,
No. I stepped on the toes of some of the most powerful people in Alabama. I didn't step on their toes. I got my boot stuck up another area of their anatomy. Okay?
there you go.
Okay. So I was happy to take this test. Okay. By the way, I happen to have a degree in psychology also. Not that didn't hurt anything.
No.
Yeah.
You knew all the questions and
Well,
answers.
I graduated #1, okay, in law school. Anyway, make a long story short, I finished 4 years in less than 3.
Wow.
Youngest law professor in Alabama's history, but
I
that's
didn't want to
okay.
grow up that quick.
Right. Well,
That's good.
I had to get in. I had to get in there and get. I grew up. My father was deceased, and I had to do what I had to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so I went to this Dr. Thomas Jackson, UAB.
Okay.
Gave me a 2-day test. Okay, 2-day test. It's unbelievable what you go through. I knew what kind of parts of it were going to be because I had it.
Like MMPI-2.
Yeah, all that. Minnesota Multifaceted Personality Inventory.
That's right. That's it.
Amazing that I remember that.
She knows stuff too.
Yeah, some people say I have a photographic memory. Wouldn't that be great to be?
That
a
was
Chief
in
Justice?
print too.
I did. Lots of stuff in print. I put a lot of stuff in print.
Obviously.
So I take this test. And I come out with the best score that this psychiatrist wrote that he'd ever had from any person he'd ever given this test to. He said there can't be a more sane person in the Alabama State Bar. And I said, well, there's like at the time, there's 15,000 members.
So that's a low threshold.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, if you're the one hopping the bar, set it low.
Hey,
There
whatever. So, I did that, and that shut Robbie's mouth, okay?
So this is the neuropsych
I like doing that,
eval.
you know what I mean? Hey, Robbie, I shut your mouth. Your boss can't do it. Tell Tony McClain I said that. He better be good when I become
I
Chief
didn't
Justice.
say it. It was him.
Yeah,
No, it
Maverick's
was him.
home.
Maverick said it.
Yeah,
Carmichael did.
Right. No,
I didn't hear David
sometimes
said it was
the
Maverick.
wheels of justice run slowly, Robbie, but they're coming your way.
Now this is the neuropsych exam.
I
You
said that in
it's on-
jest.
I know,
Oh, yeah. We
and
got
I
it.
was laughing in jest.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So this is on file with the Alabama State Bar.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm gonna tell you, he has told me, Kim, go get a copy. Have a copy. Take it.
269-1515, area code 334. That's phone number.
Now, is there just
I don't
one
know
on
how I
file?
remember that, but it's just amazing.
Now, did you say there was more than one neuropsych on file down there, or just one?
No, there are 2.
Why did you have a second one up?
Well, because of all these.
Who else did you tick off?
I ticked a lot of people off.
Oh,
I wrote
my.
about. Let me tell you what I did. I had a lawyer call me up crying. This lawyer, this is the one that went wacko on cocaine. Okay, and he had to surrender his license to practice law. He was going to be the next big head of the Shelby County political system. Okay, and I stepped on his toes real bad. And I wrote an article right before Christmas, and his first name is Eason. So I wrote an article about him being a bad elf and how Elf Eason had to be put on probation by Santa Claus. Okay. And I had called him up the night before.
Where did you write this?
Shelby County Reporter.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
the
my
county's.
word.
Yeah, that's the county's daily. You know, their weekly newspaper.
Yes, okay.
Oh yeah, my column ran three quarters of a page long. I wrote there for 2 years, and until somebody bought the paper out and they fired me, which was okay with me because mainly I did it voluntarily. And but I called him up the night before it came out, and I read it to him on the phone. I said, "This is what I'm writing. I've got you in this. You're the main part of my Christmas political story." And he laughed. Says, "You're not. They won't publish that. They won't publish." Laughing. Next day, I get a phone call from him. He's crying his head off. He's in tears. So let me tell you what I told him. I said, "You think you've been the big shot of this county, and all the people who wanted to get elected for office, I shot them down in the newspapers. It didn't matter how much money they had. I had a circulation that hit 80% of the voting households, and I vote once a week. That's more ink than anybody can fight."
You were the Archibald of Shelby County?
I wasn't the Archibald. I was the good guy. I was the Robin Hood of Shelby
I
County.
gotcha.
I was the Robin Hood of Shelby County politics, so I really enjoyed telling
You had to be
them.
a Republican then, though.
No,
No.
not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. I was kind of out of politics for a little while at that time. Okay, so I told him when he was crying, I said, let me tell you something, Eason. I said, after all I've seen you do, and all I've seen you part of, and all the dirt that you've done in the dirty politics of Alabama, Shelby County, I'm going to allow you to vote. I'm going to allow it, but unless you want to feel my wrath in the newspaper, and this is the way it's going to be. First Amendment right. Now I'm going to allow you to vote. I'm going to allow you to give any amount of money you want to whoever you want to give it to, okay? And you can put a sign or as many as you want in your yard and promote any candidate you want for public office. But I'll find out if you do your little dirty politics. And when I find out, you haven't even begun to see what I'm capable of doing with a pen, okay? And that's why the bar got so many letters and complaints, and I had no problem dispelling them.
Well, when you get elected to the Chief Justice
Yeah, that'll
of
be
the Supreme
November
Court,
6th. I'll be elected November 6th, and I don't know when in
So
January.
you're going to come back on here after you're elected?
Oh, sure, why not?
and you'll get to start writing, and everybody will have to listen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a
See?
powerful pen.
Well, yes, see, because that makes me the chief judge of all the judges.
That's right.
You've heard of the boss of all bosses in the mafia. Well, I'm going to be the judge of all judges.
Wow. Tommy's got a mafia suit you could wear.
Yeah,
I'll wear it when you come back.
I
There
got
you
you.
go.
I'll wear it when you come
I'll wear
back.
my robe, too.
I like that. So now you were, according to this, the youngest, where did I find that? Something about the youngest candidate in the history of Alabama to qualify for the Supreme Court
Yes.
in 1982.
And it can't happen again. I was 29 years old. You know why it can't happen again? The legislature a couple of years ago set down guidelines for how much time you had to be. You were a lawyer, 10 years for the appellate courts, 6 years for circuit court, 3 years for district judge.
It needs to be higher for circuit court.
Yeah, I understand, and I know where you're coming from.
We got a lot of unqualified. Tommy and I beat a lot of drums about unqualified judges that run for office.
Oh, there's no question.
They want a pay raise.
They want a paycheck.
Yeah, paycheck. You're right. You're exactly right.
I know I am, but it doesn't get
Well,
you.
they can't say that about you if you're going to give half of your net back to the Birmingham
Yeah.
volunteer lawyers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wow.
That lady that runs that, she really likes me.
I bet she does with that kind of publicity.
Guarantee you.
Well, give it back if you don't need it. Okay. My children are grown. I mean, they're college educated. They're grown. Okay, my former wife, God rest her soul, passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I've never have remarried, and you know, it's a long marriage, and that's the way it is. So right now, I'm dedicated to serving the people of Alabama. That's my emphasis, and that's what I would like to do for the rest of my career. Now, I could only run one other time under Alabama law. I'm 60. I would have to run again for re-election at 66. I could not run again because I'd be over 70. You cannot run for judicial office in Alabama if you are over 70 years of age. So I would be able to serve 2 terms,
Okay.
which I plan to do if I get elected. You know, serve 2 terms. And I plan to do a good enough job to where, you know, you got to earn respect. You know, I would be able to earn it there as a jurist. Now, as you know, as lawyers, it's a totally different ball game,
Yes.
to put it in sporting terms. Everybody in Alabama understands sporting terms.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
But I
And
mean,
congratulations to the Alabama Softball Girls National Championship.
I'm glad I brought that in.
Roll Tide.
I opened the door for you.
All right, we're going to go to a break on that when we come back.
I knew
We'll-
you would do that, you Auburn
Well,
fan.
I've heard about that all day, and I've been happy for them too. But we've got about 8 minutes when we get back from the break, and want to make sure that you talk about everything you need to in that last 8 minutes.
Thank you. It'd be nice.
You know so much just...
You need furniture? Sides Furniture in Dora has incredible deals for you. Does your furniture make people say, wow? Sides Furniture has the North Shore Collection, specially priced just for you. This group has a rich traditional design and exquisite details that come together to create the ultimate in grand style. And all upholstery features luxurious top quality leather. Select your new furniture today and save big by purchasing at Sides Furniture in Dora. 110% guaranteed low price, or visit them online at sidesfurniture.com.
Watching, waiting for something to amaze me. That's when it happened. Right in front of me.
You haven't seen it until you've seen it in Charter HD. Call now to add Charter HD for only $5 more a month and watch all your favorite programs in HD. Charter, let it all in.
Hi, I'm Tommy.
And I'm Kendall.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch on Channel 80 ACN for the Southern Gospel Show.
Each and every Sunday right here on Alabama Cable Network from 7:30 to 8:30 for the very best in Southern gospel music.
We'll be looking for you.
It's the ride that glory train. Now there's a real train.
Welcome back to Legal Speak. Harry, I told you as we went to break, I wanted to make sure that we covered, this has been your hour, I want to make sure we've covered any topic you need to cover because you're the one that's got to get the vote.
Yes, sir. I appreciate that too, and I really do. I'm very grateful to you, Tommy, and you, Kim, for allowing me to be here. And I hope, good Lord willing, I'll be able to come back again before the November 6th election. And
You've got to, because we've got a whole nother hour, we know, with you.
okay, well, yeah, that's right. Well, I want the people that supported Roy Moore to understand this. It's my firm belief that he's not the only one that's done it. We had Jim Baker years ago who spent 10 years in prison for buying an air conditioner for his doghouse. He used religion to do it. There are other people that use religion for other purposes, but now no more than ever in Alabama, we've got the big rock, okay? Now, all I have is a small cross, and I would promise that I would not try to start the Jesus Foundation to collect money and give speeches around the nation as my opponent has been doing, and padding his family pockets and his pockets because he doesn't disclose where that money went. We don't know where it goes. I would say, in my opinion, that money goes to high salaries, probably for his wife and his children, you know, but it's not doing anything to help Moses. It's not doing anything to help God. Okay, it's only doing it to help Roy Moore and his horse. Because I'm sure his
Tell
horse.
me about this horse. I don't know how I missed the story.
Remember,
No, I
he
missed the
rode the
story.
horse into vote this time.
He rode the horse to the polls It was a gimmick, but it
I
worked.
missed that.
How do you think he got elected by 1/10 of 1% of the Republican votes? And look at those people, God bless them, that have been conned. No different than the Jim Baker people were conned and sending in millions of dollars so he could give air conditioning to his doghouse. He didn't help anybody that was impoverished in the world, particularly here in America. We've got a lot of poverty in America. Do you know that 1 out of 3 families in Alabama is on food stamps? And probably 2 out of those
2 of the
3
vote Republican?
Yeah, they'll vote Republican. They got Republican stickers on the back. That's how the propaganda in Nazi Germany propelled Hitler to office. This is the propaganda of the Republican Party. And you've got educated people. I'm surprised we haven't seen them start wearing swastikas, and whatever, hey, I want to go with the crowd. And all this is, so many of these people that don't want to vote Democrat. Oh, Obama, he's black. That's not true. He's half white and half black. They forget the white part of the Oreo cookie. Okay? They just talk about the black, and we know what that is. That's racism. That's hatred. Jesus doesn't want that, folks. Give me that camera. Jesus doesn't want that. You still have time to clean your soul. Vote Democrat on November the 6th, at least for most of them, not for all of them.
I love it. What if Obama's all black?
Well, this is Alabama, the state of hate. You didn't figure, I've lived here all my life. I've seen it. I've experienced it.
I can tell, Harry, if you had the time to write an article and think about it, you would be damaging, because just off the top of your head, you don't miss much.
Oh, thank you.
No, you don't. What else do our viewers need to know? I mean, you're born and raised in Alabama?
Born and raised in Alabama. Just like my Lord Jesus, I was bar mitzvahed like he was. He was bar mitzvahed. He was rabbi, okay? And then I was baptized, but not by John. That's the bottom line that everybody needs to understand. Religion is not to be used to make money of. Jesus threw the money changers out of the temple. Now, if we can only get the Republican Business Council out of politics, maybe we'll have a healthy Alabama Supreme Court.
Well, and I know it's hard because one time there was a judge in Jefferson County, Judge Pate, who I love.
Gary Pate.
Yes, Gary Pate, Judge Pate. He's retired now, but he used to say, if you wanted to win an election, get your Bible, wrap yourself in an American flag, and carry a gun. But that was
then.
That was it.
Yeah. Now you have to have the Business Council's MasterCard.
Well,
because the Business Council will be your master, so you might as well wear the card.
Well, that's true. I like that.
It does cost a lot to run a campaign for most people, and I'm very much admire you for setting the standards that you have, because they're not easy on you.
Well, I've led a rough life, but I'm very happy.
I think you and your opponent, first went into this election with minimum expenses.
We shocked the whole state, didn't we?
I'm telling you, I didn't see it coming.
I did.
Obviously, you have a lot of foresight.
Thank you.
Harry Maverick Lyon.
Thank you very much.
And obviously, you're a man that can't be bought.
Can't be
because
bought.
I would be in Jamaica. Harry Lyons is in Union Station here on Legal Speak.
But you got to admit, now I gave you a stock tip.
Yeah,
we did get a stock tip.
If
yes.
Follow that stock tip.
So if we're not here later, we've made it big and left.
And we know you're a good cook. So,
Yes,
that's
I
a
am.
pretty well-rounded Chief Justice. He can cook. He does stock work. He's very well-versed in the law. He has been shot twice and lived. I had a client one time that happened to. I said he was just too mean to die. So I don't know what that says, Maverick.
I don't know. Only the Lord knows that.
Absolutely.
Well, it looks like from the picture, the second picture, the judgment was rendered
Yeah,
against
that
the
was
shooter.
that was rendered. There's no more appeal.
Yeah, that poor guy in the casket does not have an appeal.
No, he can't appeal.
And just to make sure we clarify, you weren't responsible for him being in the casket.
I think I was having dinner that night with our local district attorney.
Well, there you go. What better alibi can you get than that?
Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. Election is
November 6th, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The polls will be open and give people a chance at redemption, Democrat Party.
And you can vote in that particular race, just so our viewers understand. You
Split
can
the
split your
ticket.
ticket.
Split
You
the
don't
ticket.
have to vote straight, Democrat or straight Republican. Please do your work. Vote qualified judges. I mean, Tommy and I can't say enough about the need for qualified judges, and our viewers should understand that need.
Well, we look forward. We will have you back, Harry, before the November election.
I'll be here.
If you're able to make it, we'll
Well,
have
I'll
you.
be able to make it.
All right.
If 2 bullets can't stop me, you think a third would?
I got you
No,
on
that's
that. Thanks, y'all. Come back.